All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Seattle Seahawks. Every person on the planet and their mama, except for the San Francisco 49ers, are extremely excited about this upcoming year for Seattle because, boy, oh boy, do they have some talent. This was a team that was projected to win either 4 or 5 teams this past season. All right. It was expected to be a rebuild. However, they won 9 football games. They made the playoffs. They had another A-plus draft. They had a great free agency. They pinpointed and got exactly who they needed to, specifically on the defense in free agency, to help bolster this team to a double-digit win squad. I said on this channel a couple of months ago, right after the draft, I said I would not be surprised if the Seahawks won the division. A couple of weeks later, after more evaluation, I said the Seahawks will win the NFC West, and I'm tripling down on it in tonight's video. The Seattle Seahawks, to me, are the NFC West winners of next season. Now, obviously, training camp begins tomorrow on my birthday, might I add, but we're back. Football's back. I want to take it one step at a time, but with Seattle specifically, it's got me so excited. And I want to say this, one of the reasons I'm making the Seahawks video late tonight is because I was reading a power ranking article and they had Seattle at 12. And it was the first time where I kind of did a little bit of digging, and it was the first time I actually kind of saw the narrative switch from watch out for Seattle, they might win the division. It's the first time in like a year. When Seattle had a great year last year, it's like the first time since they started winning last year that I've seen them kind of get this respect that they deserve. They had, once again, an A-plus draft. I mean, you have 2 studs in the first round alone in Devon Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba. These guys are going to help your team day one. But before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let's try and get this video to 500 likes. We're going big here. It'd be a great birthday present. But anyways, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily content. If you guys want more Seahawks videos, let me know down below. I'm going to do it regardless. But Seahawks fans, I love you guys so much. Anyways, what's funny is, and Seahawks fans love this, rightfully so, like the big knock on the Seahawks is 2 things, all right? It's just 2 things. Number 1 is Geno Smith. Number 1 is Geno Smith. Here's the thing. Geno Smith won Most Improved for a good reason. He made a Pro Bowl for a reason. He had a completion percentage of 69.8, but he threw 30 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. He threw for over 4,000 yards. He averaged over 250 passing yards per game. Here's the simple thing. If the stats don't switch your opinion on Geno Smith, all you have to do are watch the games. And that's why Seahawks fans are nothing but ecstatic right now, because if one of the big knocks on your team is your quarterback and you just watched all 17 games last season where once again you're supposed to win 4 or 5 football games and Geno Smith and your team won 9, the eye test proves immediately. So not only do we have it analytically and statistically on paper, but we also have it with the eye test. Geno Smith made so many good throws last season, also sitting behind Russ, sitting behind so many different players in the league. He's been waiting. He's been licking his chops, salivating at the chance to get another opportunity. He got it this past season, and it paid dividends, all right? And they also got him on a huge steal of a contract where essentially everybody wins. But you pair him up with Kenneth Walker III, who's a phenomenal running back. He had a great rookie season. You help him out by drafting Zach Charbonnet and Kenny McIntosh. Kenny McIntosh is a dog, but so is Zach. And the reason that's so important is because you need Kenneth Walker healthy, because he is such a valuable asset, especially towards the end of the season. You want him at full strength. So I love those 2 rookie draft picks. But you pair Geno up with DK, a rising star receiver in the National Football League. You pair him with probably the most underrated wide receiver in the entire league named Tyler Lockett. Like seriously, Tyler Lockett is probably the most underrated receiver in the entire league. This guy has 4 straight 1,000+ receiving seasons. I mean, he's a menace. He's as consistent, as reliable as they come. And he's only 30 years old. It's not like this dude's 34, an aging veteran. And then JSN in the slot works perfectly. gives your team that big play factor. It gives your team the middle of the field to work with because you're not leaving JSN open. That's something that the Seahawks really want to improve on in this upcoming season is the middle of the field. And JSN is the perfect place or perfect piece to put in that place, rather. And then we love the three-headed monster at tight end and Noah Fant, Will Disley, and Colby Parkinson. Obviously, if you throw all three of those tight ends on the field at the same time, the defense, the DC's like, oh, crap, we got to go match that. It just poses so many issues for opposing defenses, all right? So that's the offense in a nutshell. And keep in mind, the offense was a top 10 offense next season. So the big question marks come into with Seattle was the defense. That was the other. Outside of Geno, the big concern with Seattle is their defense. Well, they hit it immediately in free agency. Obviously, Devon Witherspoon. There were also a couple of other solid draft picks that they acquired later on after the first round. But we take a look at defense, kind of uncharacteristic of Seattle to spend this much this fast in free agency. It was like right out of the gate. They're just going. They're finding their guys. It started with Tremont Jones. The rush defense last year for Seattle was abysmal. It just did not work. There was nothing there. Josh Jacobs' game, right? The Raiders game. Perfect example. Tremont Jones is a Pro Bowler in the NFL. And he is just being in Denver last season, especially, but honestly, just being in Denver in general, so underrated. He is super underrated. You got him at a steal, 26 years old, former third-round pick. He's gonna hit the QB, and he's gonna help with the rush defense. And you also pair him up with Jaron Reed, a former Seahawk, a former cheesehead of mine, somebody I was not pleased was a departure in Jaron Reed. Welcome back to Seattle. Another huge addition to helping bolster that rush defense. Bringing back OG veteran in Bobby Wagner, also taking a chance on an intriguing linebacker in Devin Bush. Now, Steelers fans aren't huge on Devin Bush, but at Michigan, he was a complete stud, former 10th pick in the draft, first round 10th pick. This is a guy who's going to get you a bunch of tackles. However, since his rookie season, due to an injury in his sophomore campaign, we just haven't seen it. Seattle's the perfect place to bounce back. Devon Witherspoon in the draft. Julian Love, a versatile safety, just in case Jamal Adams is still dealing with injuries or just deals with injuries in general this upcoming season. I know that Jamal Adams with Seahawks fans, it seems kind of 50-50 split. I know Jamal's probably not in their long-term plans at all. And that's why you went out there and you signed Julian Love. But nonetheless, I'm going to squeeze out as much as I can get from Jamal Adams until that actually ends up happening. It's all just speculation for the time being. So, Seattle, and then, I love their, Kobe Bryant's your cornerback 3. I mean, he had a stellar rookie season. This is just such a young, hungry defense, and they filled it out perfectly with perfect veterans. Any addition on the defensive side would have gone a long way, and they just hammered it immediately. You love to see it. So I'm huge on Seattle. You guys knew that last year. You guys knew that this summer. But I just want to get it out there right now because camp starts tomorrow, and I just want to say the Seahawks are winning the NFC West. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Peace.